The Case of the Missing Hat at Infinity Acres. Have you heard about what happened at Infinity Acres Petting Ranch? You're not going to believe what happened. Just sit back and let me tell you about it. The crime. Victim, Ace. Species, sugar glider. Location, sugar glider cages. It was another beautiful Virginia morning. The sun was shining through the window and was starting to warm the cool fall air. Ace, the sugar glider, started to go through his early morning routine. First a nice stretch and then a yawn. Then roll up in a little ball for just 5 more minutes. Then stretch again and curl up for 5 more minutes. This routine drove his mother crazy. Even though they are nocturnal, she wanted him to rise early so she could teach him the ways of the sugar gliders and be ready for the shows. She obviously did not know the fine art of the slow rise. When Ace decided that he was finally ready to get up, he would put on his red cowboy hat and start his day. The hat was his pride and joy and made him look so dapper. It gave him the extra bit of confidence he needed to talk to Gilda. Gilda was a beautiful sugar glider that lived in a nearby block of cages. Ace could see into her cage if he climbed into his spinning wheel and looked down. She was gorgeous. She had fluffy hair, big black eyes, and a pure black stripe in the middle of her head. She always greeted him with a smile. Oh, her smile would light up a room, and she laughed at one of his jokes, and her eyes would twinkle. Now it was time for yet another fun-filled day at Infinity Acres, or as Ace called it, Infinity. He called it this because he would like to yell, "To infinity and beyond!" when they would return from school outings. He just cracked himself up. Yesterday was a really fun day. It was the final day of Animal Adventure Summer Camp for the year. That was the day when they handed out graduation certificates to the kids, and he would get lots of pets and kisses from everyone as they said their goodbyes. But today, school was back in session, which meant things would be a lot quieter here at Infinity. Well, back to the matter at hand, or should I say, the matter not at hand. Ace reached his hand behind his head like he would normally to grab his hat. No hat! He quickly turned around to see if maybe it had slid over from where he typically puts it every night. No hat. Had it fallen to the floor? After a quick survey of the floor, no hat. Well, he looked under the hay. No hat. Well, maybe it was behind the spinning wheel. Still no hat. Well, Ace was panicking at this point. Without his hat, how would he ever be able to talk to Gilda again? Would he still be humorous without his hat? Would he still be dashing without his hat? He had to find his hat. Surely no one would have stolen it, Ace thought. Maybe it fell off the bed, landed on the wheel. The wheel spun and it was on top of the wheel. Well, he looked up. Much to his surprise, there was no hat. But the cage door in the ceiling was open.
Oh no! The cage is open!
Ace was horrified. Someone must have come in the middle of the night and taken his hat while he was sleeping. Well, Ace had to devise a plan to get out of the cage and find the culprit. Ace had to be very careful when planning his exit, as he didn't want Gilda to see him without his hat. Since the sides of the cage were slippery, his only choice was to get on the spinning wheel and run really, really fast, so it would catapult him to the top of the cage. So he started running as fast as his little glider legs could carry him. Puffing and puffing, he finally realized this was not a good plan. He was a very clever glider. He was sure he could come up with a plan. Finally, it dawned on him. He could stack all the hay up next to the wheel and climb up the outside of the wheel to reach the door. Brilliant! So he proceeded to do just that. But much to Ace's dismay, every time he jumped on the wheel, it would spin and dump poor Ace on the mound of hay. Well, now what? Ace was getting very worried at this point, but he was not going to give up. Persistence is one of the many things that his mother taught him in the ways of the sugar glider classes. I know, thought Ace. I can wedge something in the bottom of the wheel so it won't turn when I jump on it. And that is exactly what he did. His plan worked beautifully. He ran up the hay mound, climbed up the outside of the wheel, then jumped from the wheel top out of the cage.
Wow!
Ace was so glad he didn't give up, but now he had to get down to the ground. He hadn't thought that far ahead. He did remember his mom telling him that sugar gliders can spread their bodies so wide they can actually glide down without getting hurt. However, he was young and had not had the opportunity to practice this yet. His little heart was pumping so fast at the thought of it. He forgot if she said he needed to get a running start or if he should just jump. Well, there wasn't much room to get a running start, so he thought, I'll just go ahead and jump. Ace curled himself up into a little ball and launched himself into the air. He spread his arms and legs in the shape of a star. He could feel the wind filling up his skin and slowing down his fall. This was a great feeling, soaring through the air. Ace was so busy looking around while he was soaring, he didn't realize he was nearing the ground. Boom! He landed. First the right side, then the left side. That caused him to do a quarter spin around. No points to be given for that landing, that was for sure. He quickly looked to Gilda's cage to be sure she hadn't seen him. Phew, she wasn't looking. These are some facts about sugar gliders. They are marsupials from Australia. They sleep in packs of 8 to 12 to keep warm. They have a grooming claw on their back foot to flick fast through their hair to keep it clean and fluffy. Their tails can bend so they can carry food and sticks to hang on trees. And their babies are called joeys, just like kangaroos.